is what they leave you, this nice little brown stalk. And actively growing, they have what's called witching. And this one might not be the best, but you can kind of see here, these Bermuda stalks shouldn't have all these different sprouts going in all these different directions. So what the mites are doing is they're in there feeding on the Bermuda plant, and that feeding causes it to have irregular growth, and then ultimately that the plant can't actually survive, and then you get this dead witch, which is just ugly and unsightful, and it also leaves a dead spot. And so I am treating it with an insecticide, and we'll take you guys through that process today. So lovely times. The indestructible Bermuda, I guess, isn't as healthy as I had hoped. As you guys seen, I've got Bermuda mites, and I'm treating them, and hopefully I'll have some success. I think after looking at the mow and kind of where things are today, I think I'm getting ahead of it. Although everything I've read on them, it's not promising. So I'm crossing my fingers, and I'm hoping that I have some luck. Okay, so I'm going to be treating the Bermuda mites with Bifin IT herbicide, and this is about the only thing that has shown any kind of success. I treated it, the first application, with a ½ ounce per gallon, and treated roughly 2,000 square feet. And I'm going to do the same today, except I'm going to go half of that. I'm going to go 0.25 ounces per gallon. I've already got my water ready to go. I don't know if you can see the water in there. And I will put in a ½ ounce for the 2 gallons of water that I'm going to be treating, which will be 0.25. And because Bermuda mites are on the leaf, I'll be using a surfactant to make sure that the pesticide actually holds onto that leaf and gives me the best kill possible. I also add a little bit of RGS and iron. I'm also trying to get a little bit of green up in some of my areas, so hopefully I'll have some success, and we'll see. As far as the Bermuda Sod, the TIF that we laid down, it's doing really well. It's well rooted, and I'm happy to see the progress underneath the tree. I was a little bit worried with, you know, the shade there and how that was going to take, and it's doing really well. And then to talk a little bit about the California trimmer, I have nothing but wonderful things to say. One, I'm a big Honda guy, so Honda engine, awesome. The quality of cut, actually what I would say, the consistency of the cut is really where it is superior. It just does such a better job. My lawn, with all the bumps and all the imperfections that I have, it looks smooth and perfect. And my daughter said, quote her, as she's a golfer, it's like a fairway. And so I think that's a compliment to California Trimmers for putting out a really good product at an affordable price. So I'm very happy with it. If there was a knock against it, and I think this is going to go against any real mower, that's going to be they don't pick up very well. So normally if you cut some branches and you have some stuff in your yard and you run over it with the rotary mower with the bag, it's going to pick it up. In a real mower, probably not going to pick it up. In fact, I would tell you it's probably not going to pick it up, and so you're left blowing a lot more. I think you got to use your blower a little bit more strategic, and I'm okay with that. I mean, the quality of cut of my Bermuda grass right now is preem, so I'm very happy. The other thing I'm noticing is, because I'm cutting it shorter, I'm cutting it more often, is it's spreading a lot faster. And at the end of the day, I'm trying to outcompete weeds. I'm trying to outcompete my neighbor's St. Augustine, and that is a big deal for me and a huge win. So it is a little bit heavy of a machine, but there's ways to work with it, and you don't have to fight it. And I think as I've used it more, I've discovered that you really don't have to be, you don't have to use this as in a commercial style where you're using it every day to master it. I think, I'm getting better every time I use it, and I'm finding that there's some days that I have to, or some situations where I have to pull off the wheel, the drive wheel, and maneuver it and maybe even pick up and lift it. But those are getting less, and I'm finding that I can really utilize the momentum of the machine to turn and get things done. So I'm pretty happy with that. We're very hot. I'm in North Texas. We've already been in the 97 to 100 already. High humidity, and I did get my fungicide down. I did that about a week ago, and I may have missed the timeline perfectly, but I feel like there's the areas that I typically have disease. I've caught them, and I'm at least ahead of the game. While I might be showing some brown patches, I do feel like I'm in a pretty good spot. So I'm pretty pleased with the yard overall, and I've really got some really nice spots. I really am loving the pool area. I'm loving the area next to my neighbor's house, looking at that kind of vanity strip next to the neighbor and dominating thy neighbor. I'm quoting a lot of YouTubers there, but I'm really pleased with how things are looking. So all in all, I'm off to a great start this spring. Summer's in full-fledged. I mean, we are, like I said, hundreds, and we're not getting any cooler. In fact, I don't have rain in my forecast. I haven't had rain in a week, a little over a week, and I have no rain in the forecast for the next week. And so I'm irrigating heavily. I'm really trying to concentrate on not as often, but deep, and really trying to make those roots push down and grow. So we'll watch and see how things progress. But I have to say, lawnmower, A+. The Darwin Grip on the weed eater, I love that thing. That thing it just is buttery smooth. If there was that would be the saying. I would literally tell you that I can literally it just floats. It floats out there for me. It's buttery. I don't get a lot of scalping with it. I can just put it at a level, rest it on my elbow a little bit, and hold it and just go. And do you have to have it? No, you do not have to have it. Does it make it nice? When you're cutting short, when you're cutting Bermuda short, I think it is, it is nice to have something that gives you leverage so you are not scalping your grass. And I think the Darwin Grip helps with that. On top of, let's be honest, I'm not bending over nowhere near as much, and that's a huge plus. I guess to leave you, I would tell you, make sure you are cutting some crisp edges. If you want your lawn to pop, if you want it to look sharp, if you want to, beat your neighbor, if you want to be the best on the block, you have to edge, and you have to edge with perfection, because that is what sets you apart. You can have the greenest grass in the world, but if you've got grass and runners running into your sidewalk or driveway, it just looks terrible. So make sure you're edging, make sure you're taking your time with edging. One of the things that I learned, I think it was from GCI Turf, was you do not need that blade to gouge down into the dirt. You just want it to be right at where that concrete hits and that dirt is, and that's where you want it to cut. You do not need to take a big gouge out of it, and when you do that, one, it saves your blade, and two, you're not pulling up as much dirt and mud and all that other stuff, and it really looks sharp. Now, I've got Bermuda. Is it going to shoot runners off in 3 days? Of course it is. But I have an edger, and it's super easy to use, and you can't be upset with the grass doing what it's supposed to do. So, you know, make sure you're edging. And if there was one last thing I could tell you guys, as a tip, use some iron. We're getting into the heat of summer right now, and you know, you can put down as much fert as you want. You can blast it with all these bionutrients and try to stimulate and aerate and do all that kind of stuff. A little bit of iron goes a long way, and I have not been using iron in the past, and this year I have found it's probably been the one thing that I've been missing in my lawn care. My lawn is the deepest, darkest green I've ever had it, and so, you know, if you want to step your game up, get yourself some chelated iron and put it down. You can get it from lots of different places. From Ironite, you can get it from the N-EXT products. They offer their double dark green, I think it's 700 green effect, maybe. I think that's what it's called. But Green County Fertilizer, you know, I love their products, and there's a lot of different irons out there, and it's really an easy application. If you're spraying with a backpack sprayer, super easy. If you're going to use a Hosen ortho sprayer, just as easy, and it makes a huge difference. It's messy, however, the result, especially because I have a little bit of a high pH, spectacular. My grass looks spectacular, and I'm so pleased to see the results from it. So those are my tips. You know, edge. Make sure you're weed eating at an area where you're not scalping, and use some iron this summer, and that will be a way to really take your lawn from good to great, to being the, oh, that's a nice lawn, to the lawn of envy on your block. And I hope these tips help you guys out. I have got a lot more videos coming up. I'm going to talk a lot more in detail on California trimmer. I'm still getting used to it. It's still brand new to me, and I'm loving it. And I have no knocks on it yet, but we'll probably do a full comparison against the Honda that I have, the HRX, and just kind of why, you know, when you're mowing short, it's a better option. But I think there's still some relevance to having a rotary mower, and I don't think you go sell your rotary mower. So stay tuned. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, hit that notification bell, so you know when I've got new content coming out. Give me a like. I will answer all comments. I'm constantly viewing them, especially this summer. I would love to hear your thoughts, your successes, any questions that you have on Bermuda grass, on California trimmer, on edging, weed eating, the Darwin Grip, the N-EXT products, Carbonex. I'm using all of it. So please give me a like, hit that subscribe, and I will see you guys in the lawn. By the way, that's a good beer. Revolver, Blood and Honey, delicious. Cheers, you guys. Have a good weekend.